Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are back on the buns. Yay!
Yay! Bunny
Yay!
bun bun!
We were still doing the side quest, weren't we?
Yes, because Doodles is right. Buns are allergic to main story.
We take our time leveling. Well, at least on the bun.
Yeah. Ah, yes.
Occam's not so much. When I get on him, he just kind of shoots up like a weed. Well, are we
He
ready?
is a weed.
Yes, he is
Yeah.
a weed. He's a weedy weed.
Speak with Nanachi at Apakalu Falls. That's right, going to Apakalu Falls.
Hello,
Hey, Fox.
Foxfire! I hope things are going well for you today. Today's been somewhat of a lazy day. I slept through most of it. I took a Benadryl last night for my allergies and never woke up.
And how's that different from any other day?
I don't wake up at 4. I wake up at 2-ish. Maybe 3. This quest is actually permanent to the game. However, it came in with the most recent special event, which concludes tonight. But the quest is here to stay.
Yeah. And is definitely referencing 1.0 story.
Which, of course, we never played through.
So this is Apakalu Falls. The conspicuous lack of the creatures aside, it's quite a beautiful place. Now then, the person we're to meet should be along shortly. Serpent Lieutenant Folk. And I looked things up a bit. Yeah, this and the previous one we had last week were basically major Grand Company quest givers during 1.0. So for people who were there, these are familiar faces. I was told there were those who wished to learn about Eorzea, and who should one of them be but the champions of Eorzea? Well met. I'm Lieutenant Cyril Folk of the Order of the Twin Adder. Yeah. Nanaji no Noji at your service. Thank you for sparing the time to speak with us. Think nothing of it. I must say, though, that Lieutenant Aubrey chose the perfect spot for the subject matter. Eorzea spent much time in rumination here in the days before the calamity. We Gridanians, being somewhat reserved by nature, at first the citizens kept their distance. But in time, people warmed to him. He patiently lent an ear to their troubles, healing hurts and offering counsel, and gradually earned their trust. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Eorzea spoke those words, and lived up to them. He was the epitome of a Shirley sage, and I recall myself being moved. Now, shortly after we had become aware of the Meteor Project, the hamlet of Quarrymill was attacked by the Primal Garuda. Both soldiers and civilians were among the casualties. The Order of the Twin Adder moved to vanquish the Primal, but we were not alone. Through Eorzea mediation, we had the support of not only our sister Grand Companies, but capable adventurers the realm over besides. Using an artifact known as the Vortex Feather, the Archon opened the way for a band of adventurers to sally forth into Garuda's turbulent domain, where they filled the fearsome being. Upon her defeat, however, the Primal's dispersed aether did not return to the land. Instead, it was absorbed into the Red Moon Dalamud. And when the Empire constructed a new base in Mordona, the Elder Seedseer saw the need for decisive action and put forth a proposal: the formal reformation of the Eorzean alliance, which had for so long lain dormant. The initial response from the other nations was lukewarm at best. They felt that the burden to be borne by each party was excessive. They were loath to do aught that would place them at a disadvantage against their rivals. But the revelation that a lunar transmitter had been erected in the Imperial base prompted a change of heart. The tower controlled Dalamud's descent. If it could be destroyed, then the meteor project would be forestalled. After having constantly been on the back foot, our nations were motivated to join hands that we might strike a decisive blow against the enemy. Thus was the Eorzean alliance reformed, as the Circle of Knowing had hoped. At the same juncture, Eorzea was asked to join the alliance as a tactician, and in that capacity he provided sage counsel to our heads of state. So although he was at first treated with wariness, Eorzea earned our trust through his actions, and paved the way to enduring cooperation between our nations. Indeed, were it not for him, we all would have perished divided. We owe Eorzea a great debt. Now then, I expect you might be interested in hearing about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. But for that tale, I would recommend you seek out another, a decorated soldier who actually took part in the operation. Although a hardened warrior, she is quite friendly and should be glad to regale you with her experiences. Shall I send her word on your behalf? We'd be duly grateful. Very well. If you could take yourselves to Maelstrom Command in Lemza, I shall see to it that she knows to expect you. With that, I shall take my leave. I pray that the biography is a success. Everyone has been more helpful than I dared to hope. Seems Eorzea had quite an influence on others.
Just a little.
That interview gave us some valuable insights into his character, and I'm eager to see what we learn in the next. Come, let's head for Lemza. Yeah, this is the first we've really heard of the lunar transmitter.
We've heard reference to it before, but it's so sparse and pulled out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was part of the entire thing with Bozja. And why Sid's father went kinda loco.
Yeah, but that was a different one. It was all about the transmitter down there.
Yep.
Like viewing the 1.0 story as a diorama from the steam train in Disneyland.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, that would be a hilarious event.
Yes. And boy, the number of people who know that reference these days.
Yeah, most of those diorama trains are gone now. I think the only one that might still be there is the Big Whale, which was actually more of a boat ride, but I think in Fantasyland, but I think that eventually got taken out too. Not exciting enough.
Yeah. I mean, it could have used a refresh. There's a lot they could have done to it with, like modern animatronics and such.
The thing I'm rather grumpy for is they refreshed the Tiki Room.
Yeah.
To turn it more into a mascot thing with all the birds from various,
Yeah.
Disney probably is like, no, leave the Tiki Room as it is. Feel free to refresh the animatronics, but leave the Tiki Room as it is.
Yeah.
You destroy the charm when you start throwing marketing in on it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are panning it kind of hard. I have heard people kind of report how a lot of Disneyland, all the Disneylands, are suffering a bit from marketing excess.
Ugh. Okay, yeah, I can see that. In the meantime, Rena's day was kind of slow. I had my first face-to-face gaming day in about 6 months. We were planning for 4 people, but Jason did not make it. Don't entirely know why.
Did he at least call to say he wasn't making it?
No. Haven't heard a word. And didn't get an answer on his phone when I called him, though I think that was his cell phone. So, possible that he just forgot since it was scheduled about a month out, and he doesn't have the kind of continual bounce off of other people for reminders that, like me and Mark and Dave have. So, don't know. Still had the 3 of us. It was still a successful day. There is 3 games that I got a few months ago that are all, shorter, lighter games. And got to try 2 of them out. Basically, they were all gotten through a Steve Jackson Games Kickstarter. Around about June is when I got them. And the main thing was to get Wiz War 9th edition. Which isn't quite as bad as it sounds. It turns out that, Jolly Games did the first 4 editions, which were really, as far as I know, just different printings.
Right.
And then the next 2 editions were Chessex.
Yeah, I remember the Chessex versions.
Yeah, that was the only versions I played. And then Fantasy Flight had it about a decade ago. And they did a very nice job on it, production-wise, from what I know. And now this version kind of, go back. Secutors are hunt targets.
Have fun.
Thank you. One of 2. Now to find a second one without tripping over the darn camera.
One over here?
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, peeps.
So for anyone in the audience who doesn't know, Wiz War is a game where, each player is a wizard here in this kind of maze arena. And, you start off in the center of this 5x5 grid tile, which has a bunch of corridors and doors and everything. and your home base is in the center of it. You have a couple of treasures on it, and everybody else is the same. And you're basically going around trying to get 2 victory points, which you can either get by killing another wizard or grabbing one of their treasures and hauling it back to your home base. And of course, someone else might come along afterwards and haul it off of your home base and claim it for themselves, maybe. We played 2 rounds of that. Dave won both times. I was a little concerned that Dave would find it too chaotic, because basically you have a hand of cards, the cards are spells, and there's a lot of cards, and I don't know that there's any spell that has more than like 1 duplicate. Though some of them are just numbered cards to power spells with or move further with. Anyway, very fast playing, a lot of wild fun. And then with the Kickstarter, that was the primary goal, was to get that into print in the new 9th edition. And they had options for if you want, you can get 2 other games. The second game was called Greed Quest. I haven't tried that yet. I have to say, doesn't quite match what I was hoping from the description, but who knows, it might play very well. The third game is Spank. Space Pirate, Amazon, Ninja, Cat Girls. And we did a round of that to start the day. Which is basically, each player is a crew of Space Pirate, Amazon, Ninja, Cat Girls going through capers. And the capers are basically a series of challenges, and each crew is trying to get through all the challenges first to get loot and pool boys. The main problem we had, and I should look it up. Spank Doodles? And that was a lot of fun. Dave has been wanting a crack at that one for like a decade, so he's been made happy.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anyone in the household who would blame him.
No.
I mean, even for you, there's at least the pool boys. You need a little eye candy.
Yeah, that would be a issue, Doodles. Having no one around to play games with, that's no fun.
Yeah. Our group is small, but at least we've got one.
Yeah, the main board game group I know of ended up closing shop because a couple idiots came along and got them kicked out of their meeting place.
Humph.
All it takes is just a couple assholes. Here's Nanaji. Hello, Nanaji.
There it is. Maelstrom Command. Shall we then? City.
Well, while we're here, we might want to do some turn-ins.
Yeah, oh boy, yes.
Lieutenant
Hi,
Fritz!
Ricky.
Ever a sight for sore eyes. And you must be Nananjin. Rashant Ricky at your service. I understand you wish to hear about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, I'm penning a biography of the Archon Louisoix, you see, for which I'm interviewing people who had dealings with him. I truly appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. I would be glad to assist, even if I wasn't a request from Lieutenant Folk. We give proper salutes!
Because this is the Grand Company we're in.
Yes.
You
Now
notice
then.
we didn't salute the others.
Nope. Now then, to continue where he left off. It was shortly after a Eorzean alliance was formed. Our scouts returned with word of the 14th...
7th.
you're right, that is 7th.
Yes.
Our scouts returned with word of the 7th Legion had activated the lunar transmitter in their fortress in Mordona. Now, known to Castrum Sentry, the fortress was originally called Castrum Novum before the 14th restored and renamed it. Okay, that's where it comes in.
Yeah.
It was in order to break through the defenses and destroy the transmitter that our three nations joined hands, and we were determined to succeed. The strategy that Louisoix proposed was elegant in its simplicity. While our main force drew the Garland's attention with an all-out siege, an elite band of adventurers would infiltrate the castrum and make for our objective.
Sounds familiar.
We had entrusted adventurers with ridding us of the primals, and now entrusted them with the very fate of Eorzea. I remember the operation as if it were yesterday. Though we met with fierce resistance, we fought till more fiercely still. No matter the cost, we had to ensure the adventurers had a chance to strike at the transmitter. Excuse me. When the messenger arrived bearing word that they had succeeded, it still makes my heart sore to recall the moment of triumph. That day we learned, by standing together, the people of Eorzea could oppose even the might of the Empire. 'Tis no exaggeration to say that the victory paved the way for Eorzean's future. Without it, there would not have been an Operation Archon. Alas, it wasn't all glad tidings. For though we destroyed the transmitter, Nael van Darnus appeared and claimed that he no longer needed the device to bring down Dalamud, that he himself had the power to do so. So long as Van Darnus lived, the threat of destruction remained, and so, branding him an enemy to all life in Eorzea, the nations of the Alliance undertook a desperate manhunt. At length, they located him in Quarthus and sent great warriors to hunt him down. Leading that formidable band was an adventurer whom they called the Warrior of Light. And though no records remain of the fierce encounter, one thing is certain: at battle's conclusion, Nael van Darnus was brought low.
So that's the main objective of the Battle of Carcano Flats.
Yeah. As you know, however, our woes didn't end with the White Raven, for Louisoix and his disciples determined that Dalamud would continue to fall. In a last-ditch bid to prevent the realm's annihilation, the Circle of Knowing issued a request to the Eorzea Alliance to secure the Carcano Flats, where the Red Moon was expected to crash.
Okay, so that would be the Battle of Carcano.
'Tis no simple task, for an entire of the 7th Legion had amassed in Cartano, but it was necessary in order to prevent the ritual to stop Dalamud, a ritual that invoked the power of the 12. So it was that the Battle of Cartanu was joined, and I dare say you know how the tale concludes.
Yeah. To everyone's shock, the elder primal Bahamut emerged from Dalamud and proceeded to unleash his fury upon the realm.
Aye, and though all bore witness to Luswa's initial ritual, none remembered how it came to pass afterwards, neither what happened to Bahamut, nor why the realm was reborn.
It's a haze that afflicted memories of the calamity. But people remember events prior to that moment, yes? If so, do you know if anyone was near Louiswa during the battle? Someone who may have spoken with him.
If someone was near him, I'm afraid I do not know. He was atop a rise for the ritual, while I was a good distance away on the front lines. My apologies.
No, please don't apologize. You've shared a wealth of information, and I couldn't ask for more.
Well, if you're satisfied, then so am I. With that, I shall return to my duties and look forward to reading the biography when it's finished.
Now I have a grasp of events leading up to the calamity, and yet... Oh, forgive me. I was deep in thought, and no small part due to your help, I've managed to learn a great deal. But there's still more that I wish to know. Might I trouble you to accompany me a little longer? If you're willing, please let me know.
Yeah, sure.
And we've got nothing more important going on. Preserving the future. Nanaji desires more information for Louiswa's biography. You'll continue accompanying me then? Wonderful! Come, let's head to the Drowning Wench to discuss our next move.
Poof.
Our research proceeds apace so far. We've even learned things not found in literature. But tell me, based on what you've heard from our interviewees, what is your opinion of Louiswa?
He had a difficult task.
Sure. Indeed, from an Imperial invasion to rampaging primals to nail Van Darnus' scheme, he had to contend with the toughest of problems.
I see Doodles is taking a pot shot at the fact that we're avoiding MSQ again.
What struck me was how grateful the interviewees were to Louiswa for bringing their nations together in cooperation. It was nothing short of necessary for our survival. Yet, in knowing this, I can't help but wonder, in his capacity as a tactician, it seems to me he had done more than enough by devising a plan and facilitating its execution. He went far beyond that, risking life and limb on the front lines for a land not his own. Perhaps he needed to be there for the ritual. Perhaps he felt a sense of duty. Even so, as noble as it is to desire to help others, what good is it if you end up sacrificing yourself? What was it that compelled Louiswa to go to Cartano, and what went through his mind as the battle unfolded? In order to do his biography justice, I feel I need to know these things. If Louiswa had people near him at the time, perhaps he shared words with them in his final moments. Words that could provide some insights. But where to begin searching for such individuals, assuming they exist? Sorry, friends. Couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Just so happens I know a bloke is served among Loiswa's guard at Cartano.
Oh, really?
Of course he does. Truly? You know someone who was with him? And as far as I'm aware, he wasn't keeping the fact a secret. Just for good measure, though, why do you want to speak with him? Loiswa's biography, eh? In that case, I reckon the bloke would be willing to cooperate. Orn Gunkum's his name, and he was lieutenant of the Maelstrom. After the calamity, he turned to adventuring so as to be a greater help to the common folk. A Maelstrom officer turned adventurer. We'd be most keen to speak with him. Where might he be found? When Orn dropped in the other day, he said he had business on the Marabi dry docks. If you're lucky, might be as he's still there. Understood. We're in your debt. We can't let this chance pass us by. Let's take ourselves to the dry docks at once.
But first, these Maelstrom messages. Because I've got a bunch of equipment to turn in.
Yeah.
Zoom!
Do you have zoomies?
That Hrothgar definitely has zoomies. Ignoring you, Mr. Serpent.
But bang, it's so blue and prominent.
And I need to sell some seals before I do turn-ins. Wow, my guys cannot get this thing to save their lives.
Okay, that's the easy stuff. Looks like I need to switch out to that.
Ooh, so close. Let's try that. And let's spend some seals.
Sounds like a good idea.
If they will let me. Ooh.
Enters which?
Spell.
Okay, attack. Or DPS potency as opposed to healer potency.
Yeah.
30, 36. company rank up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of overdue. Oh, bracelets. In that case, no. Okay.
Our poor neglected free company. It's a good thing we didn't get housing.
Yes. That's why I wasn't seeing those. Okay, let me go talk to my squad for a moment. Come on. Wow, that actually succeeded. Okay, guys.
What succeeded?
The mission. Border Patrol.
Nice.
One of the regulars, but... Nope. I'll be blunt. The squadron isn't ready for crystal recovery. Yeah, probably not.
There, I got all 3 battlefield etiquettes.
Oh, that's right.
Where is... There it is.
I only have a foster.
And there goes all our credits. Poof!
Hi, Live.
Hello,
Yes.
Live!
Just emptying out the junk drawer.
Yes. Yes, this is the equivalent of offloading our junk drawer.
And trust me, there's a lot of junk in it.
Honey yellow? Yes, we have honey yellow.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Defog blue.
A lot of royal blue.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from.
Oh, I just dumped in 5. And great purple is even higher. Interesting. Okay.
I'm still fiddling.
Yeah. Fiddle, 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 fiddle.
Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get.
I told everyone else earlier, or live, but I was mentioning earlier that actually had a couple of people over for face-to-face gaming for the first time in like 6 months. And got to try out the latest edition of Wiz War, which is like a mid-'80s game originally. So I didn't see it until the '90s. And Steve Jackson Games put it out through Kickstarter early this year. And while we were at it, were you done?
Okay, I'm done.
While I was at it as part of the Kickstarter, I also got Spank, Space Pirate Amazon Ninja Cat Girl. And we got to try that out too. Yes it did, Doodles.
Yeah, it seriously did. And it really helped our FC too.
Yeah, got us that rank up.
Unfortunately, we need a lot more in order to fill our rank.
Oh, each one will get tougher, yeah. And it's not like this is a growing guild or something. We ourselves and us.
At 12, we get an action expansion. Which means we can hold more actions in low.
Right.
There he is.
Right. Where could Orn be? In hindsight, we should have asked what he looks like. His name would suggest he's a Midlander, but... Well, nothing for it but to make inquiries. Let's split up for the task and meet again here.
Well, first we ask this shopkeep very nicely. She's waiting all patiently.
Going to be disappointed we're not buying anything.
I'm sorry, but I've only just started helping out here. I'm still learning our customers' names. I couldn't say if the person you're after, but a man did come by earlier who appeared to be an adventurer. He brought a Mia Lily that we're currently trialing.
Hey.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Ooh,
downstairs. Been forever since we've really been around here.
Ah, there's energy. Any luck?
Yeah. I thought I'd gotten better at making inquiries, but it's not so easy if they aren't already inclined to speak. How do you do it day in and day out? Speech bubbles.
Veteran shipwright. Hello, good sir.
Looking for an Orn Guncum, you say? Don't know anyone by that name, I'm afraid. I did walk by an unfamiliar fellow just now, though, over by the mark of the spinner. He had a flower in his hand, so he caught my eye.
And we're Gaiden Porter. Excuse me, sir.
Orn? As it happens, I spoke with him just earlier. He said that he wanted to buy flowers, so I directed him to a vendor. Not sure where he is as of now, though. You have an inkling as to where Orn might be. Time to rejoin Nanaji. There you are.
Excuse me, Marshmallow. You're
Work.
in my face.
Work.
There.
There you are. Were you able to learn anything?
We think he's over by the mark of the spinner.
So a man who could be Orn bought a Nymea lily, then went to the mark of the spinner. we hurry there, we might be able to find him. Let's go! Let's go! I know I can always rely on that to set you off.
Old gamers are old.
Yes, yes. And yeah, live suing is good. Space Pirate Amazon Ninja Cat Girl is about just that. Every player is basically got a crew of 4 Space Pirate Amazon Ninja Cat Girls going through various capers and trying to resolve them to get loot and pool boys.
Nanaji?
Ah.
Oh, you went in.
Yeah? Oh, I didn't.
If he only was just seen, he should be nearby.
Yep, Mark with a spinner. Begging your pardon, sir, but are you Lieutenant Orngun come? I haven't been a lieutenant for years, but aye, that's me. What can I do for you? I realize this is sudden, but... So you're writing Louis Wa's biography and want to hear my account as someone who's near on hand at Cardano.
Why are you looking at me? I wasn't at Curtno.
There must be a reason that you're here too, warrior of light who led us to victory in Operation Archon. Very well, I will tell you my tale. Now then, where to begin? As you know, the battle was fought over the land where Dalamud was expected to fall. In the beginning, neither side was able to gain the upper hand. But when the Imperials deployed their Magitech armor, our ranks were thrown into disarray. Those charged with protecting Louis Wa, like me, could only watch the carnage from afar. Though our forces managed to hold out thanks to the adventure contingent, we sustained grievous casualties. But the real tragedy was what followed. As Dalamud hurtled towards us, began shedding fragments of itself before finally bursting open to unleash the primal Bahamut. As all below looked on in shock, the battle completely forgotten, Bahamut took wing and spewed fire all over the land. Man and Magitech armor alike were set ablaze and sent flying like so many insects. I only realized that I had stopped breathing when a commanding voice broke my trance. "You've done enough," Louis Wa told us. "Now fly. Fly and save yourselves." But, like my fellow guards, I wanted to remain. I couldn't charge into battle beside my comrades. At the very least, I would do my duty here and protect Louis Wa to the last. But upon seeing us standing there, not making to move, Louis Wa smiled and spoke thus. "If you would give your lives to protect something, protect my hopes. Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope, bright and brilliant. So live, I bid you, and be among those who bear the light for others to follow. Those words awakened us to a greater purpose. There was hope in my living, and I would live as Louisoix did. No matter what, I would survive. And so, together with my fellows, I began making my retreat. Alas, we hadn't gone far when an explosion erupted and sent us sprawling. I struggled to my feet just in time to see the enormous, menacing silhouette of Bahamut looming over Louisoix. The next instant, he was enveloped in light, and that was the last I remember of him. Louisoix's final moment. Amidst that light, he looked to be smiling. What he was thinking in that moment, I couldn't say. But one thing is certain. We, all of us, are alive thanks to him. Following the calamity, it was reported that Louisoix had defeated Bahamut and set about the land's miraculous regeneration. Do you believe this is the truth? Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. What we've learned has reaffirmed my belief. The belief that Louisoix was not an all-powerful savior one reads about in tales, but merely an ordinary man. But that man never forsook Eorzea. No, he stood for this realm to his last. He and countless other brave souls saved it from becoming a scorched waste. Against unimaginable adversity he fought, and at the cost of his life paved the way to a brighter future for us all. The least I can do in return is tell his story. Spread his message that, where there is life, there is hope. Thanks to your account, I believe I have found an angle for the biography. I'm truly grateful. Would you care to offer a prayer as well? The prayer that the light of hope which Louisoix preserved shall ever burn bright.
And of course, we actually know what happened with Louisoix because we did Binding Coils of Bahamut.
Yes.
Orn?
The calamity left deep scars across the realm. There's no place that did not want for help to rebuild. After being saved by our twin adder allies, I decided to become an adventurer, better to honor Louisoix's legacy and lend aid to those in need. During my travels, I often hear your tales, and I'm glad I could share my own with you. Allow me to thank you again for recounting your experiences to us. Nay, 'tis I who owes you thanks for giving me the chance to share Louisoix's words. All these years, I had avoided speaking of the moment of his passing out of respect, but it would not do to take the tale to my grave. Through the biography, it is my hope that his spirit will live on in all of us. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I shall resume my pilgrimage to the marks. Wherever your travels take you, I shall be praying for your safety. He plans on visiting all 12. Crimea lilies, the symbol of safe passage. As Louis stood there in Cartano, I wonder if he likewise prayed for someone's safety. At any rate, these interviews have yielded everything I had hoped for and more. Come, let us return to Ul'dah. I'll have your reward for you at Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames.
Just for the record, live stream, what you were talking about was actually season 3 of Sword Art Online. Season 2 was a dog pile.
Well, it was a number of near misses. Yeah, the killing blow in and out of game, yeah, that was season 3.
Yeah, that was the Gun-Gale arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 2 had one of the worst fridgings in anime.
Yeah, well, the real problem is, of course, that the author is definitely thinking of it as Kirito's story. Whereas, the real thing that got a lot of people, and certainly us, was the partnership between him and Azuma.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking of it as more Kirito's show, and therefore Kirito's harem.
Yeah. The series has had, 2 movies. The third's about to come out. They're doing a big, ready for some gray furs, 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, well, that'd be about right by now.
Now, there's some short stories that were done in the middle of it that were actually really nice.
Yeah, shortly after the Gun-Gale arc, they had a series of episodes that were going through more of his short stories, and those were good. It's a light novel series, and some of those will alternate between the two, like Haruhi does. And really, the initial storyline, the first season, was, 2 light novels originally, which is the usual pacing. It takes about 2 light novels to do 13 episodes, or to turn into 13 episodes, or in this case 14. And the first light novel was the main story. And then the second one was a whole bunch of short stories that happened during the initial story. And in the series, they just all interweaved it into its actual chronological timing. Which is why you get some of the things like the one guild that he's a part of for a little bit early on and gets itself killed off. That was one of the short stories. And apparently the original version of the novel without the short stories is a bit dry because of that. The anime did it a lot of justice by filling out his character by inserting those in.
Now, the series is, or the world is in.
Yes, another 100 gray furs for that, yes.
Pretty big, because of course you got Sword Art Online, and then you've got the spin-off series Gun-Gale Online, which is going to be doing a second season of that soon.
Yeah.
Which was written by the same person who did Kino's Journey.
Okay.
The problem is that I don't think the story held together very well. Or at least the main reason behind it.
Oh dear. But Live was reminding us of the fact that, ElfQuest has had its 45th anniversary.
Yeah.
Oof, another 100 gray furs.
Yeah. My COVID shot, they forced me to look at my actual age,
God,
and I
yeah.
cried.
I didn't, but
What
I
have
was
I done
just
with
staring
my
at it going,
life?
yeah, I was just looking at mine and going, when did that happen?
And remember, if we lived in medieval times, we'd be dead by now.
Oh, I don't know about that, but we would certainly be well past life expectancy.
But
And
another
with your
spin-off...
troubles, you would be sadly unlikely.
Yeah, another one a lot of people don't realize is a spin-off series is... Oh god, I'm trying to remember the name of it now. I think you got like halfway through before you stopped. But it was actually done by a different animation house, so the rights got split.
I don't remember any other offshoots of...
It was about the one fat kid who ended up in this brawl game that was effectively a mind hack.
I do not remember this. So either you're mistaken about me watching it, or I have wiped it from my brain. From the sounds of it, both are likely.
I actually liked it, but...
I am not remembering this.
Yeah, it was kind of this virtual fighter duel game, and some of the superpowers you ended up taking into the real realm because it was actually writing your brain physics as it worked.
Okay.
And it compressed time while doing it.
Oh, good.
The problem is that if you lost and got kicked from the game, you lost everything and you couldn't re-log into it.
Yeah, this is starting to sound a little familiar. I think I just wiped it from my
And his avatar was a little pig.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think we actually got through all of that. I had not realized that was supposed to be a spin-off of Sword Art. That's for sure.
He's supposed to be Kirito and Azuna's son.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
their
I'm remembering
kid.
The series now, and I think I did get through it all. It was okay. But yeah, there's no hints of spin-off of anything. There you are. I ended up troubling you longer than I had intended, but it was a truly fruitful series of interviews. How fortunate that we could hear from those who lived that fateful time. While I still have many questions, the biography is beginning to take shape in my mind. I also feel as though I've attained a measure of closure. Louis fought simply as one of us, and he made the ultimate sacrifice that hope might endure. This I've come to realize and appreciate thanks to everyone's heartfelt testimonies. Now then, last but not least, I'd like to ask you for your thoughts on something. No, I will not play a game of Triple Triad with you. Oh, different question? According to Orn, Louis smiled in his final moment. As he was enveloped in light, what do you imagine he held in his mind?
The image of mankind thriving in the future? Because that's the way Louis thought?
Yeah. I see. I appreciate your thoughts. As I pen the biography, I'll be certain to remember your words. Well, sad though it is, it's time for us to part ways. I'll set to work on a draft, and I won't rest until the biography goes to print. Thank you for all your help, my friends. I couldn't have come this far without you.
And we
End
get...
of an error framer's kit. Tools for
Do-do-do.
enhancing a portrait to use to unlock embellishments. Includes background, frame. Yeah, they don't give any description of what types of stuff it might be.
Oh, it's standard portrait stuff.
The man, the myth, the legend. just the 5 points, nothing else.
Huh. Very red.
Huh. Oh, yeah, it's the blast.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Just to be different. Okay, so I guess we're back on to MSQ,
Yeah.
which is right over here. At least
Yeah, that
according...
is how we stumbled over it as we were going to Ul'dah in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I hope you
Aha.
enjoy Evan and May.
Yes.
I really need to get on the third book, but everything's just so up in the air and I'm so frustrated. Yeah.
Back a quest.
Mhm.
So we had the options for Image of Mankind thriving in the future. It's pointless to speculate on such things. However, 1.0 players will receive an additional option.
Ooh.
The light of hope that shines the way forward. Choosing this last option doesn't change Nanaji's response or reward or reward any different dialogue, however. So don't worry, no one's missing out. This line is probably meant to reference the final quest of FF14 1.0, Living on a Prayer, where Louisoix tasked the adventurer to pray to the 12 stones he inscribed with their symbols across the Eorzea. This line is referenced twice in this quest, once by Louisoix when you accept, and finally by Urianger, who meets you at the final 12 stone in the crypt of Xandes in Mordona.
Right.
But Louisoix isn't the first person to refer to us in this way. It's actually Y'shtola in a much earlier quest, an officer and a wise man. And then there is you. In the coming moons you shall face a despair darker than any you have ever known. But the light of hope burns bright in your soul, a light which none may quench save you yourself. You have come to the end of one journey, but a new one awaits. A journey to pass that light on to others, so that they, too, may carry on when the hammer of judgment falls. Now go, but forget not that of which I spake. Hope is what you are, and you are what we seek.
Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this Tumblr post from a person who's a 1.0 veteran who gives as much detail on that entire little quest string as they could.
Urianger? Urianger?
I missed him. How did I miss him?
He's standing right there!
I'm used to, nice Urianger as opposed to gunny sack Urianger.
Yes, he is in his hardcore Popato sack at the moment. As thou art returned to us, wherefore might our comrades not be the same? Never shall I concede them lost till I've seen proof of their passing.
Yes.
Hello, Pippin.
We are grateful for your assistance, Master Hareband. You saved her grace and father both. 'Tis the least I can to repay you.
Forgive my impatience, Marshal, but your missive mentioned the discovery.
that face. Yes, of course. As per your request, I had my men scour the waterways. Almost immediately, we encountered a difficulty. An entire section of the tunnel had collapsed. With the Mineral Concern's cooperation, however, we were able to remove the rubble, which yielded the battered bodies of a dozen Crystal Braves. Go on. Be at ease, Master Alphino. Your friends were not among the deceased. That alone is cause for hope. And then there is this. Yes.
Y'shtola's wand!
I had assumed as much. If I may, Marshal. "'Tis as I did surmise. Judging by the etheric imprint that lingereth yet upon this wand, it hath assuredly been employed in the casting of a most uncommon magic. Namely, the very first that man did conceive to traverse great distances, and the ancient precursor to all methods of travel that utilize the life stream, flow. The spell entaileth the reduction of the corporeal form into its constituent aether, that the caster might enter the life stream and ride its currents thereby. Unlike teleportation magics of modern times, it requireth not a lengthy incantation. That Y'shtola should choose to employ such a spell speaketh the need for haste. All of which would suggest she managed to escape. Would that it were so simple. Know that the scholars of Shirlian forbade the use of this spell, and with good reason. The caster hath but limited control over his course. For every mage who came safe unto his destination, another would be set adrift in the life stream, never to emerge.
What? No, you can't mean...
Mike is not liking you.
I'm
He's
sorry.
not liking Tataru's histrionics.
No.
That's better. Be not downcast, my friends, for there is yet hope. 'Tis like that Y'shtola's passage hath left traces in the life stream. Could we but follow these from the point at which the magic was invoked, we may yet find her. To the Sildan excavation site, then. Our thanks for your aid, Marshal. Do not mention it. I shall pray for Lady Y'shtola's safe return. So, to the Sildes Subterrane?
Pippin.
Would that I could be of more assistance, but our nation's resources are stretched thin. Be that as it may, do not hesitate to contact me if there is aught I can do.
Righto.
So our first insubstantial lead, I wouldn't say solid. I mean, reduced to component to aether.
Ew. And you wonder why Theron doesn't like teleporting around. He just doesn't want to take the chance. He likes being corporeal, thank you very much. Yeah, it kind of broke my heart to say that Evan and May will no longer be in furlough now that it's being republished by Antarctic Press, but I just don't want to go there. Taru? If our friends weren't in the tunnel, that means they're somewhere else. Logically, yes.
Yes. Simply being here calls to mind the events of that fateful day. Evidence of Eorzea's passage will have been made faint by time, but mayhap some few scant traces yet remain to guide our steps. Yes, Theron McCoy. Goggles upon goggles.
Yes. I see we're going over there.
Over there. The trail leadeth to the north and east, and to the bosom of the Twelveswood. Are you certain? Aye, there is no mistake. Thither hath Eorzea journeyed. And yet the Gridanians have reported no sightings. We must take this to mean she is still adrift. If it be so, I do fear for our friend. Contrary to his name, the life stream is more akin to a raging torrent. Linger overlong in the midst of this maelstrom, and the aether that formeth one's soul shall surely be scattered, ne'er to be reformed. We have no time to waste. Oriange, pray explore all possible options for reversing the effects of this forbidden magic. Adonia, Tataru, Rena, we four shall press on to Gridania and petition the Elder Seedseer's aid. And those woods have some serious spoon. No, that's no fika.
And off to the 12th we go. So we'll probably crash in Gridania and
Right
finish
back where we started.
Yeah, pretty much. Full circle.
The circle of life stream.
Part of my frustration right now is I have learned that all my books and stuff that I had up on Comixology isn't there anymore. The listings are there, but the actual entries for the individual issues are not. And I'm not sure what to do about it.
Yeah.
This was because Amazon decided to fold Comixology into their Kindle apps. And I was wondering why I wasn't getting penny royalties.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have the brain power to fix it all.
We'll have to look at it at some point.
Yeah, for a while I was actually setting up to set up Evan and May as individual issues to get on Comixology and fully colored, and that project fell through because I got sick and couldn't deal with it at the time, and then other things happened. I mean, the app still exists, and you can buy things through the app. But desktop-wise, it's pretty much Kindle now. Same as Crate Space got sucked into Kindle.
Yeah.
So, And I thought I did everything correctly when the merge happened to set it all up so that everything would properly transfer. It transferred the series titles, but the issues have just completely disappeared from the database. So I don't know.
Yeah, we need to look at that at some point.
Considering that my entire push for webcomics that I did for almost 15 years solid, probably more, I never got more than 200 views per thing, and you can't really sustain on that.
No.
So I don't know if I should just, or what I should do, really. And of course, radio itself stopped showing at the different shows and publishing for various reasons, and a lot of them being the financial just wasn't there to support it. So I know what radio's numbers look like. Ellen's been very kind with me, but there's this point that you have to say this isn't working. Especially for the amount of effort put in versus what you receive out. And I've got too many damn hobbies.
Yes. You're in good company on that one.
Well, it's kind of hurtful in the fact that I wasn't trying to have it be a hobby. I was trying to make my living off of it. Mm-hmm. And it worked for a little while, and then suddenly it didn't, and that's all she wrote. But yeah, I don't think I've got a royalty from Amazon in, what, 2-3 years now? More than?
I have no idea.
I mean,
I hadn't even known when you were getting them.
Oh, I was getting them, but it was like, oh look, I got like $1.50 from Amazon for the last quarter. I know, stuff you can really write home to. Oh, I skipped Taro, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Eorzea, we're coming for you! Your turn to skip somebody. It is said that the elementals perceive the life stream. If, as we suspect, Eorzea is still adrift in its mist, they may be able to find her. But if we are to appeal to them for assistance, we must needs do so through their chosen Pagel. It is imperative, therefore, that we speak with Kan Isena without delay.
You got it.
Lost in the Lifestream, Alphino is eager to petition the Elder Seedseer's aid in rescuing Eorzea. I have already requested an audience with the Elder Seedseer. She will receive us in the Lotus Stand presently. We need but speak with the conjurer yonder to be admitted.
Well, BMI, it came out right towards the tail end of the Black and White boom, and actually did pretty decently.
Yeah, at the time and as a physical thing.
Yeah. And you can still, of course, get the graphic novels from Radio Comics. If Kindle didn't eat them alive. Though I think the BMI was actually done through Lulu. I could be wrong.
Probable. Given when it would have been done and how and so on.
Yeah. Hello, Kan-Isena. Be welcome, my friends, and speak freely. I gather your suit will emit no delay?
It will not, my lady. Pray forgive the abrupt nature of our request, but it is a matter of life and death.
I see. As you say, we must needs act swiftly if we are to free Y'shtola from the ungentle pull of the life stream. And as you surmised, we cannot do this unaided. However...
In requesting the Elemental's assistance to find Y'shtola, you must needs be aware of one difficulty. A difficulty born of the fundamental difference between man and Elemental.
That being?
In perceiving the world around him, man relies upon senses such as sight and sound. For the sake of convenience, he gives names to such things as are near or dear to him. Being formed of pure ether, however, such concepts are foreign to the elementals. Instead, they perceive by observing the ebb and flow of the energies of life. So profound a division cannot be bridged with simple discourse. The elementals' voices stir not the air, and thus reach not our ears, while our words are but wind to them. Though we seers can commune with them through feelings, naught that we can impart will serve to aid them in identifying Y'shtola. Nay, they must needs be presented with ether which is akin to hers. If you could but find a family member.
Oh! I know just the person! Y'shtola has a sister who came to live in Gridania. She told me about her once.
Oh, that is most fortunate indeed. Pray, seek this sister out then, and bring her to Evershade. There, we shall petition the Great One's aid in finding your lost companion.
And we are going to pause here. Pause. Get it? Bunnies? Pause.
Hardy har 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 har.
They are precious beings.
There's something.
Something.
Yeah. The fact that the person we are about to meet next week is someone otherwise unknown to us, but is the summoner trainer.
Yes.
So if you take, what is it, conjurer?
No. You take anarchist.
Or chemist.
Yes.
Anarchist. Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of anarchy as Titan butt wiggles at you, covering your entire monitor just as a raid wide goes out.
Yeah, well. So yeah, if you take Arcanist, you can go onto Scholar and Summoner, and the Summoner job trainer is Y'shtola's sister.
Yes.
So if we'd gone that route, we would already know who she is.
But we didn't, because, let's be honest, these two are not bookworms.
No, they aren't.
Do not give them the power to summon. You have no idea how sad it's gonna be.
As sad as a carbuncle running off to live on its own?
No, that shows too much power. This would be like this would look like a carbuncle as drawn by a 5-year-old with a box of crayons. Am I wrong?
Maybe.
With that, it is that time. Poor Ladonia is going to disappear and abandon me.
Yeah. Your point?
So much for sisterly love.
Yeah, well, I'd love to stay, but it's not permitted.
Yeah, you got work in the morning.
And...
I got sleeps in the morning. So we are going to call it a night here. Thank you all very much for joining us. We will be back tomorrow at 9:30 Pacific for more Nier Automata, which will be our last run for Nier for a while, because on Wednesday, it's gonna be FF14 Alliance Raid time! Woohoo!
Yes.
And since it'll only be out for less than 24 hours at that point, or just about 24 hours at that point, you better believe it's going to be a bunch of running around with chickens with their heads cut off as people try and figure out the mechanics. That's when it's the funnest. Everyone dies. It's great. Until then, be safe, be well. Hope to see you on Monday for Nier Automata. Good night, all.
Everyone have a great night and hope to see you tomorrow.